Missouri, our rival. Very excited to go to Columbia. We haven't beat them there ever since we've been in the SEC. So that would, obviously there's challenges there. They're playing extremely well. Very good defensive football team. They're going to make you throw the football. They're going to outnumber you in the box and make you throw the football. Their front four, really their entire defense, they've got really good corners, so they're able to play man and one high safety. Very aggressive, very physical. They've done a really good job. Defensively is changed tremendously this year, and they're playing great. Offensively, they're known for a big physical offensive line. They love to run the stretch play. They run it well. Their quarterback now is running the ball a lot more than he did earlier in the year and running it well. And then I really like their wide receiver group. Very, very talented. They can catch one-on-one passes. And so Missouri, obviously they've, a little bit like us, they've lost some very close games to put them where they are record-wise, very similar to ours. I know they're going to be fired up to get bowl eligibility. And, again, like I said, we haven't won up there. So a lot of things for us to play for, too, to continue to rise. So our bowl eligibility opens up more bowls for us. But the bottom line is in Missouri, it's a rival game, and we need to go play well against a very good football team.
Coach, you guys got a lot of juice last weekend, obviously, with I don't know, there's the bowl game you're playing with, KJ's from Sardis, Mississippi, and Senior Day, all that stuff. And they got a lot of those kind of things going. I think they did their Senior Day already, but they got a lot of those things going right now. Are you guys going to be able to match them from that intensity level like you had last weekend?
I think so. I mean, we've got a lot to play for. There's a lot of difference in 7-5, 6-6 bowl-wise. Obviously, we can get to 4-4 in the conference like we were last year, finish in the top half of the conference like we did a year ago. I think simply because it's our rival game is a big deal, and we haven't beaten them there since we've joined the SEC. I think there's a lot of things we haven't beaten them back-to-back, and I think there's just a lot of things that we have to play for. And our kids understand that, and we talked about it last night.
James Joyner tweeted that he's quitting the team on, I don't know if you saw that. Did you have a chance to talk with him? I know you're a big proponent of the 4-day.
I have not. Jimmy just walked in my office right before we came over here and showed me the tweet. So I have not had a chance to talk with him, nor did he come in to talk with me.
How did KJ and Dalton look after the game, having a day to get recovered and stuff?
KJ was the best I've seen him on a Sunday in a long time. I think the game helped him. I think he has a lot better in him than even what he played. Actually, that's what he said. And Dalton, we were smart with him at practice, but he did practice and practiced the majority of it. So I think those two are going to be ready to go. I know KJ, I mean, for sure, and Dalton we'll see. But really we came out of the game fairly healthy. JD's got a little ankle, Dominic. But other than that, I think we came out really healthy out of this game. Bumper's still Bumper and trying to hang on. I don't know that he'll be able to or not. He's beat up. He's not healthy. We're bowl eligible. I don't know if he'll be able to play or not. That would be the one.
Yeah, I guess if Bumper can play, I assume Pooh Paul would start. And how do you feel like he'd fill in as a starter if needed?
Well, he's actually, I think, played a little bit the same or even a little bit more than Bumper has, just because we know Bump's not full speed and healthy. He's every game he seems to get a little bit more confidence. He ran away. He played well against Ole Miss. Ran around, did some nice things. So we have confidence in him, and then that moves Crook up another spot too as well to get him in the game and let him play a little bit more. And I think we'll be fine there if Bump's not able to play.
How do you think Paul's season overall? Is he
Pooh.
surprised you at all? Yeah, or just how you think he's played?
No, I mean when we recruit him, it's obviously you miss some when you recruit, and either way you miss. You don't. Quincy McAdoo. I mean, who would say, hey, he's going to be our starting corner? You know, we recruit him at wide receiver. But Poe, when we recruited him, we thought he was going to be a really good linebacker, and he's turned out to be that. I think he's going to be an exceptional linebacker over the years here for us. He's got everything. He's fast, physical, smart, and he's playing that way now.
And you guys loaded up on the SEC honors. I guess Sanders and Ricky all got honors. What are your thoughts on those?
Well, it's recognition for the kids, recognition for the program, and well-earned and well-deserved. And I was happy that they were able to get those awards.
I got a bunch of questions. The 2014 game you were at, and you guys kind of had the lead in it, kind of at the end they came back. 2016 was even worse when you weren't there. Huge lead. Barry goes on
Well, I
4th and
remember
7, fake punt on 4th and 7. So what is it about maybe being up there, not being able to hold leads that has maybe affected you guys?
I remember the 14 game because Brandon Allen was, I don't know, he was hurt now going into the game. Matter of fact, going into the game, we didn't know if he'd play, and he was sore, taking center quarterback exchange. He just toughed it out, you know. So he was hurt. I remember that. I think we were up maybe 14 and a half or something like that, and they came back. And actually, they won the West that year, if I'm not mistaken. In 16, I had my own problems over there at Georgia, you know, and then I don't know what happened. 18, when we went up there the last time, we had a lead on them as well. And then they came back, and then we went for 2 and took the lead, and obviously they had a nice drive there at the end. Rivalry games, it should be close games. I think we're 2 pretty evenly matched teams. Coach Drinkwitz does a great job. I don't know what it is, you know, to be honest with you. Each year is a little bit different. It seems like the results have been the same up there, you know, but I think our kids will be ready, and I know I'm sure Missouri will be because of bowl eligibility.
The East-West game, Jaden Hazelwood, there was some tweet about him last week, and I know some Senior Bowl stuff has been coming out. Are you going to have guys at All-Star games that you know of that you can share?
Well, I've got a few, but I haven't shared that with them yet. I was going to wait until, because the deadline for them to get in it is after Friday's game, so I haven't shared it with them. But yes, we have a few. I think the only one really that, and his was sent directly to him. You know, I think the only one, Dalton Wagner, has been invited. The man came down to invite him, and it was in something in Hawaii, maybe. I can't remember the name of the bowl, but we'll talk to those. I got a lot of exit meetings coming up Monday, and that'll be you guys know, us and everybody in the world, that'll be a blow-up day now. It's going to be transfer portal, who's going to come back. You have seniors. It's going to be a lot of action. Y'all need to get sleep on Sunday. There's going to be a lot of action going on, and it's not just here. It's everywhere in the country.
So Hazelwood, I mean, maybe he thought he'd come here and play a year, but do you feel like he's going to go?
Well, I don't know because my meeting set up with all those guys like that, you know, Nichols, Blair, you know, those guys like that. I'm going to have a conversation with them Monday, and I'll know more after that. But it's just like the senior night. I was telling them all, hey, we can do this twice, you know. I didn't say that to Bump because he's already done it, you know, but I just said, hey, and I told the parents, you know, Luke Jones would be a guy. Obviously, we'd like to come back. So we'll just see. And it just depends on where their draft status is, honestly, and and do they want to come back for another year, or do they want to go into the real world, out there? So, but I thought about it, to be honest with you, about, well, let's have the conversation before, and that way they won't walk. And I thought, well, who cares? They get 2 footballs instead of 1. 2 senior nights be something to talk about. So we'll try to address all that on Monday.
Is the Jordan Dominic ankle injury, is that something that might hold him out for this week, or do you know yet?
I don't think it will. He was a little tender yesterday. I'll know more about it after practice today, but I would think he's day to day, but I'm leaning towards I think he'll be fine.
And last season you took a lot of pride in winning all the trophy games, and now this is your last chance to get one before bowl season, obviously. Yeah. But is that something you're talking to the team about, or are trophies less important this season?
No, they're important. We just don't have them. We have this one. They're really important to our football team. I had been bringing the trophy into the team meeting, and I didn't. This one, I put a picture of it from when we won it last year. I'm trying to change the mojo on these trophies. The case doesn't need to be empty out there, and so obviously we'll take the trophy up there, and we hope we get it back. But no, it's a big game. I think Missouri has its place for it, in their locker room, and certainly we have a place for it here. So we'd love to keep it. It is a big deal.
With 2 games left, Satania, I think, can play the
He
next
is.
2.
Yeah.
You feel like maybe his role could be increased these next 2 games?
Trey, I hope so. Certainly my philosophy, and you know what it is that once you get bowl eligible, or you thinking you're going to get bowl eligible, you want to save one of those games for the bowl so they can practice with a reason, that they're going to be able to play. We have amped him up a little bit already this week. Obviously, we're thin at wide receiver, but we really weren't able to. We were able to look at him, weren't able to put him in our game thoughts because we were going to save him until this game in the bowl. So yes, to answer your question, that would be special teams as well.
Is there a concern with, like, it used to be bowl games? I'm jumping you ahead a little bit, but it used to be with bowl games, you'd have, guys that maybe opt out to, enter the NFL draft or something like that. But now, with the December 5th date and so much activity, is there any concern that, like, rosters could be really decimated? How those conversations go also? Is it like, you talk about you're going to enter the portal, we'll stick with us through the bowl game and then go? Or, how do those conversations go, and what do you expect?
Well, let's start with the first one. I think that was the original concern about the portal, where you put the opening at it, because we knew as a coaching, we knew in coaching that you would go to bowls possibly, if you're not in the playoffs, you would go to bowls possibly with, it could be 15, 20 guys that aren't there. It could be 10, it could be 5, whatever. But you could certainly decrease your roster big time between the portal, between opting out. You're going to have, it's not going to be the same team. Like I said last year about Penn State, about Franklin's team. It wasn't, nor was ours. We didn't have Burks and Trey Williams and those guys. So, but I think to be honest with you have to have it at this time so the kids who elect to get in the transfer portal can get recruited at another school. Now, if you're in the transfer portal, we won't take you to a bowl game. To me, if you get in on the 5th, that means that you need that time. There would be no reason to get in the transfer portal and wait till after the bowl, in all honesty. And there wouldn't, unless you just want to go to the bowl, but now you only have 4 days in January that you could find another school. So if they know that they're going to transfer, they come in, they do it the right way, then we'll help them and help them find, if they want, we'll help them. Just because kids go in the portal does not necessarily mean that they're disgruntled with the program, and that doesn't mean, Drew Sanders, I don't think he was disgruntled with Alabama. I think he wanted playing time. He wanted to maybe move his position, whatever. So the world looks at everybody goes in the portal as the worst thing in the world, and I really don't. I look at it as, maybe he sees that he, on the depth chart, he's not going to play for, 2-3 years, maybe ever, and decides to go into the portal. So to answer your question, if they go in the portal, they won't go to the bowl. If they don't go in the portal, obviously, we can't assume if they're going to go after the bowl or not. We're going to talk to them, but that's kind of our deal. And if you're going to go to the draft, I believe that you need that. You're not going to play in the bowl. I believe that you need that time to start preparing for the combine and all those things. And we don't take like Burks. We didn't take him last year. He understood, but if you're not going to participate because of your choosing, then we won't. We don't take you.
So anybody that you see going to the bowl, anybody that goes to the bowl with you guys, you don't see them leaving until maybe possibly the next transfer window.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm hoping that if they're on the flight out to wherever it may be, I'm hoping that that's our team. And there is some quality good things for that too, because you have however many, 15 days, depending on what bowl you go to practice, and you can pretty much know, hey, this is bowl practice, but it's also spring practice with new guys sprinkled in.
We got, Barrett Bannister's obviously from Fayetteville, and he has, strong ties his family does to here. But he's having a pretty good, I guess, sixth year. He's a sixth-year guy like Dalton.
Mr. Third Down.
Yeah, that's right. He's got 30-plus catches, over 1,000 yards for his career. Just wonder what you think about him.
I love him. I mean, I think he's a really good player. He's a great option runner. He can catch a fade ball. But the reason he's Mr. Third Down because he catches the football and he can get open. And I think he's had a heck of a career up there, and I'm really happy for him.
And then, I'm sure it was hard to hold KJ out of that LSU game, but obviously it worked. He was healthy and played well. And you guys, how happy does that make you feel when you take a calculated risk and then it pans out like you hope it will?
Well, one is always about safety first. When we played him against Liberty, he had played the second half against Auburn with basically the same deal. And so we thought it would be fine. And he was, physically, he was. He just didn't practice, and we found out that we thought he was abnormal. We thought he was Superman. And he's just a normal guy that needs reps during the week. This was what his mind was messing him up, and then he had no shot, nothing. He just practiced all week and had nothing for the game. He didn't want it, and I didn't want him to get it either. I wanted him, if he felt that way, and played well. He's excited. He's back. Our team's excited. He makes the whole team better. But to go out there and do that, it makes you look like you made a decent decision, and Lord knows if I don't, I'm going to hear about it. So that's good, though. I shouldn't have said that.
Regarding Barry Odom, second time he's going to go back to Mizzou, where obviously he was the head coach. And what do you think this week maybe means to him and his emotions, extra emotions? Or
I guess if you put yourself in his shoes and somebody lets you go and you felt like you did a good job, which he did, you probably might have a little chip on your shoulder. I imagine he would. And then you go to the other side of it, and they've still got kids on the team that he recruited. So, obviously there's a strong love for those kids that he coached and recruited. So you might ask him, but well, I guess you can't, can you? So that's why you're asking me. I would think that he would be excited to do it. He wants to, for him and his family and our team, he wants to perform well. Also with the love for the kids that he recruited.
Coach, I don't know if you also saw this on TikTok, but it looks like an Arkansas fan made his way home with a pretty special Ole Miss souvenir. Do you know if the university is in possession of this helmet? And if not, do you have any statement for the kid who might have this hanging on the wall in his dorm room?
You know, we're not, okay, A, I don't have TikTok, okay. B, I just heard about it. And so somebody stole a helmet, Ole Miss helmet. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, we don't have to do all that, and stealing and doing. We'd be mad if someone, stole ours when we was on the road. It's unfortunate, and I hope they get it back. There's no room for that. Our fans are better than that, and we average 73,115, and like anything in life, it takes one guy to screw it up, and that's unfortunate. And I hope they get their helmet back.
With Bumper, is it still the hip that's bothering him?
Both. I can give you a list. Let's see, hip, 2 hips, a back. He's beat up. And I'm telling you right now, about 5 weeks ago, I thought he was done. And we shut him down at practice and some things. And he beat up, man. But he's a trooper, and I don't know how much further he can go, to be honest with you. And I think with us getting bowl eligible, it could or could not be his last game. I don't know.
So I guess, are you holding out hope that he might be able to recover in time for a bowl game potentially?
Not a lot. No, not a lot of hope there. I don't know for sure, but no. I mean, he beat up.
I had a couple of special teams questions for you too. I noticed Fletcher and Bauer both have gotten some work. Could you maybe talk about how that process is going?
Well, I think we've been inconsistent there this year, and Fletch is our sky kick guy, and so we had seemed like a lot of those Saturday, and. So there's still a battle, a competition, but we believe in both of them. But there's still a battle. Stein's hurt, by the way. Stein's got a finger that was dislocated or broke. I don't in the game.
So does that mean he's out for Missouri, or do you know yet? Or
could be, but we've got. MVP, that went in there and did a nice job too. We're fine in that category, but that'd be the other guy I could think of.
And then Stevens, I know there was the penalty on the play, but he did muff the punt. How confident are you in him, or could you maybe look at someone else? Or?
No, I'm very. If you look at it again, I mean, the guy was like that. The ball's coming down, and I'm very confident in him. That's a big penalty now, 15 yards. It's a big deal.
We covered this ground with Quincy with you every week since he's been doing this. But he had a play the other night, a tunnel, a screen or something, where he blew up his blocker and then made the tackle. And it just seems so natural and aggressive. I wonder, could he end up being a two-way guy? Or what do you think?
Well, he keeps talking about it, about next year playing both. The only reason you'd say no is because nobody else is doing it. You know what I mean? I don't know why you'd say no. We played two ways in high school, and some of us. But, you could see him having a role in third down on offense and things of that nature. But he hasn't decided what he wants to do. If he keeps playing like he is, I think he'll decide, to stay where he is. But I know he wants to play wide out too, so we're very we know that, and we don't want to take his love away from him on offense. So certainly we need him on defense because our defense has played a lot better since he went over there at corner.
You know what play I'm talking about, though? I mean, I don't know if
incredible. I mean, he was physical, and, he made another open field tackle down on our sideline that we've been missing, but he went up there and blew it up and made the tackle and on that little bubble screen, and a very physical guy, and he's not even developed yet, like he's going to get, but he, like I say, we talked to our staff about simplicity of coaching, and he made me think about it again because he's, that's my man. I don't want him to catch the ball, and that's really isn't that man-to-man coverage. Now you have a lot of technique and things but that's my guy, and I don't want him to catch it. Is the goal of man-to-man coverage.
I was seeing 50% chance of rain. Is that what your people are telling you for game on Saturday?
We've seen rain in the forecast. They haven't said anything about the percentage yet. We will have some water ball. We've had that maybe 2 or 3 possibilities this year where we, squirt the balls and have a period where KJ will throw it as well and we'll catch it and the backs carry it. We'll do that, and of course Ricky would be a concern as well with the snaps.
Looked like you were about to have a fake punt on the first punt of the game the other night.
Yeah. I think it was going to be 51 yards, and I believe that we, I don't know if we could have made it or not, but it was really a good yard line in there to fake it, and we jumped off sides. Honestly, it's like anything. If it never gets snapped, you go, oh, we had it, but we felt like we had it if we would have been able to get it all.
My last thing, I'm not sure if Catalan has been down on the sideline with you, but we saw him the other night.
Back, yeah.
Where is he, like, mentally, and how are y'all with him?
I think really I don't want to steal what he wants to do. I would suppose here after the game he'll put something out about his return or his not return. I don't want to steal his thunder on either one of those things, but we're in a really good place with Jalen, and he's he's been away for a while. He had those 2 injuries, and I told him just take some time off, get healed, do all those things. And so I've obviously had conversation with him, and I'll let him tell y'all when he's ready to tell you what his decision is going to be, whether he comes back or declares for the league.
Sam, you talk about their defense being much improved. Outside of the Tennessee game, obviously they didn't have a good game, but what are they doing that's better on defense?
They're stopping the run. I mean, you can't run the ball on them. I mean, they it's basically a 2 high versus 1 high thought process, and if there's 2 high, that means that you're taking somebody out of the box. If there's 1 high, you've got numbers. You declare the numbers. If there's 2 high, the numbers are even, and you've got enough blockers for their defenders. If they're a 1 high team. They're going to outnumber you. They're going to have 1 more. Now you say, well, we have KJ. Well, the 1 more is assigned to KJ as well. So that's what's happening. They're going, you're not going to run the football on us. You got to throw it. And I think they're very, very confident in their secondary, and they should be. They've played really good ball, but they're going to stop the run. To me, that's what they do, and force you to throw the football.
And I was wondering what the plans are for Thanksgiving and in terms of, usually you have a team meal, family.
Yeah.
Well, and is there anything in particular you're thankful for?
I'm thankful for you, Bob. I mean, for all these great questions that you go.
I hope you're having a better year.
You go, what? The team they'll be out around noon on Wednesday. We'll practice in the morning on Wednesday. Then they'll come back at 10:45 on Thursday, and we'll do basically the same thing we do on every Friday, and then we'll fly out there and get out there so we can eat dinner about 6:30. I'm thankful for a lot of things. I'm thankful to be the head coach at Arkansas. I've been married 36 years. I got my health. I don't look healthy, but I have my health. And when you look at your life and you look at all the things that you have an opportunity to do and the good times and the bad times and all that, all those things develop you as a man, as a person. And I'm thankful for the hard times. I'm thankful for the good times. But the state of Arkansas has been really good to me, accepted me, and I'm thankful for that. And, of course, I got a group of kids in there that believe in us and that are fighting their butt off. And I'm thankful that we fought back. And a lot of times you see teams at this point in the year and they don't. And we fought back, and we've got pride, and I'm thankful for my assistant coaches that they help instill that pride in the team, and let's go get our respect back. And somebody asked me about what to play for, go get your pride and your respect back. And we did in a small way, I felt like Saturday. So thanks for the question. I'm thankful for the question.
Well, I got kind of a downer question after that. It was 42-6.
Yeah.
After going back and looking at it, were you guys just like looking at the scoreboard, 42-6, game's over, or were you playing the
no.
pass? Or what happened?
Oh, no. I can start with offensively. Offensively, there was no change except I wanted to use the entire 40-second clock. I told KB, you can do whatever you want to do, but let's don't snap it until it gets down. Well, it can be an excuse if you want to, because you go, well, we're firing at them, we're going fast, we're doing this, that, and that. Well, we went on a 10-minute drive against BYU. We went on an 8-minute drive against Cincinnati using the clock. We can do it. We just didn't, And we did have some first downs in there, but we had opportunities to get in the field goal range, which would have put it up 6 scores or whatever, and we just didn't, or we missed the one to put it up 45-6, and which would have been I think a 6-score game is what I was thinking on the field, and defensively, I think we went into we played a pretty good third quarter, and then I think we went into they can't beat us unless we give up a big long pass, and they said, well, we can. We'll just turn around, hand it off, and run it on you. I think that might have been a miscalculation of what we thought, that they were going to try to just air it out on us. But to be perfectly honest with you, there was no way they could win the game, and as long as we took the clock off. And maybe it could have been 56 to something, and but if we go 3 and out on offense and give them the ball back as explosive as they were, you wouldn't do that against every team because every team doesn't have the ability to come back. Ole Miss did, and we probably went a little too conservative defensively.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
I know